Crazy weekend into another crazy week. Just took delivery of multiple mining rigs, including a Bitmain Antminer S19k Pro. It's pointless to even try to talk in there. It's so loud. So I've been able to regain a bunch of shelf space in the digital shovel. We got all the bugs ironed out. I just recently deployed an immersion mining setup, and in that immersion mining setup I dropped 8 of my Bitcoin miners in there. Many of those are running in the digital shovel, so that was a great way that I've been able to continue trying to scale the VoskCoin mining. Ooh, that doesn't sound too good. Mining farm. You look over here and you can see the immersion pod, and those things are just in there cooking. It's pretty hot today, so they're cooking more like 70 Celsius, but normally they're running at like 65 Celsius. It's a hot week before it gets a little bit colder here. The point being is I have the S19k Pro. It's a 120 terahash a second Bitcoin ASIC miner. It's the same size as other Bitcoin ASIC miners. The S19J Pro 104 terahash a second model, which I have a lot of, it looks just like those. Comparing it to, say, the Bitmain Antminer X5, which I just got in, that thing is huge. It has the X5 has a huge form factor. It's the new Monero ASIC miner. It's basically like a CPU miner disguised as an ASIC miner. I really hate when they deviate their form factor because you design everything around their basic form, and so even like on the digital shovel, the shelves are not thick enough to have the whole miner sit on it because the shelves are sized to an S19, and yeah, they just have that standard form factor. So much like the S19k Pro 120 terahash, all right, we're hashing, or the mining speed, the power of a 120. You compare this is basically the best of this S19 generation, unless you get an XP. The efficiency is under 30 watts a terahash, but the next generation, like the S21 miners that loom on the horizon, are going, you know, around 20 watts a terahash, or even potentially lower. The XPs fall somewhere in between. Bitcoin mining is very competitive. It's more difficult than ever to mine Bitcoin right now. There's also the Bitcoin halving looming in the distance, but the prices on these are pretty good. You know, you get this very powerful brand new Bitcoin miner for well under $3,000. People were buying miners that were worse than these for over $10,000 just a couple years ago, but the halving was further away. It was a bull market. There was less mining competition. But for people that are expanding their Bitcoin mining operations, you know, it's like you DCA into coin, right? It's like, oh, well, I had to buy in at 40, but then I bought 2 coins at $20,000. So it significantly lowered my average cost of my Bitcoin. Well, many people, including myself, are basically expanding our Bitcoin mining operations now because hardware and hash rate is so cheap comparatively. Will it pay off? Nobody knows. But I'm quite literally banking on the coin, taking the power away from the bankers. With my electricity rate of 10 cents per kilowatt hour, as I work towards deploying 3-phase electricity out here, which will help me get more towards 7 cents per kilowatt hour, hopefully coming sooner than later, but it's going to be a next year thing. This is tough for me. My miners basically tread water with current prices and coin difficulty. Not the best feeling. I've been doing some firmware tuning, which has helped me increase my mining profitability. Just trying to get back to having more fun, working on my mining farm build out, and just trying to harness that energy I had when I got into cryptocurrency, which was just like euphoria. I'm like, yeah, let's take the power back, baby. This is so freaking cool. And yeah, mining is the coolest thing ever. Hands-on hardware in the digital age, and it's a proof of work is an incredible consensus mechanism and way to distribute the coins. That's kind of my situation with some elaborate details. Let's hone in on this new miner, the Bitmain Antminer S19k Pro. It's 120 terahash a second. You see the hash rate, you see the power consumption. Setup is like every other miner, right? You're plugging in power cables. It's got the standard 2 C13 connection with the attached power supply that comes with all of these. Obviously, you're plugging an Ethernet cable in to get internet access, and then you're off to the races. So I'm going to jump behind the screen, and we're going to remote into this. We're going to go into the dashboard, and we're going to go into some other details and everything really you should know about this, as well as some other details on Bitcoin mining. In particular, if you are considering grabbing the Bitmain Antminer S19k Pro. All right, jumping behind the screen, logging in, got the IP address from my router. We can see here that I am inside the Antminer S19k Pro. Default username, password is going to be root on this Antminer among really all of the other ones. I am mining on F2 pool for this test, and then I'll be switching it over to Brains, and I have NiceHash as a backup mining option here as well. We can see per the miner, I'm getting a real-time hash rate of about 121 terahash a second. Average total hash rate about 122 terahash a second. Everything's checking in as it's supposed to. 77 chips on 3 hash boards. Frequency at 590. Good temps here across the board. Everything seems fine from an initial impression, right? Mining pool information, you click on settings and you put in any information you want here. Click save, and then that is applied. We can see that this miner has been on F2 pool for about 24 hours now. It's working well, it's working as intended. I'm going to splice in a mining profitability update here once I get a few days of data back from the future. So how much did it earn? So crunching the numbers, we got about a week of mining data. We got the same mining difficulty throughout that whole period. So that's about 0.000265 Bitcoin, which is about 26,500 Satoshis. So 26,500 sounds a lot like the current Bitcoin price point of 26,700. That equates to about $7 a day. Looking at the power consumption, looking at my 10 cent per kilowatt hour electricity rate, this miner is essentially breaking even. But I'm not mining for today, I'm mining for tomorrow, or even more so next year. I think Bitcoin still has a very bright future ahead of it. I know exactly what I'm doing and what I'm getting into. I'm not here to push a miner on you or none of that. This is the latest miner that's been released. It's pretty cool. It's kind of like an XP Lite, if you will. It is a pretty high hash rate, pretty good efficiency, and that's out of the box from Bitmain. Some people are reporting some really impressive numbers, overclocking this, aftermarket firmware, swapping out the control board that gives you a lot of customization capabilities. Right now, this is, in my opinion, the best Bitcoin miner you can get your hands on. Other than maybe an XP, but some people have had very varied experiences with the S19 XP. Granted, mine have been fine, but I haven't put aftermarket firmware on them or overclocked them or anything like that. And obviously we have the S21s on the horizon, but to recap it, profitability, about real world, right? You know, these are real numbers in the trenches. Granted, this is on F2 pool, and I have been getting better mining profitability on my miners since I moved over to Brains firmware on the Brains pool, but it's still a good number to have, and it's good data. Mining about $7 a Bitcoin per day, or 265 BTC.
Hey guys, it's Ms. Vosk here to tell you about today's video sponsor, CryptoCode. CryptoCode is a paid crypto platform that offers tools to help users generate passive income in cryptocurrency. They also have their own WaveBot trading platform, which is an automated DCA bot. Now this isn't for everyone, but for those users who are interested in trading bots and courses, you can use the link in the video description below to learn more, or check out Vosk's full video review for more information. They're also offering a free online workshop, and if you take a short quiz after, you can get $10 in Bitcoin. This is not financial advice. Please do your own research before investing.
We've been really impressed with ASIC marketplaces, not only inventory, shipping speed, but also their prices, to the point that we've entered into a long-term engagement with them with the VoskCoin YouTube channel. We're very thankful that they've supported us in today's video content creation by sending us this miner to review. Punch in the code VoskCoin to save some coin and beat that Howdy 50 discount that they have. This is the S19k Pro 136 terahash a second that consumes 3,264 watts. This is different than what we're talking about, just to be very clear. This is projected at 10 cents per kilowatt hour, a good residential electricity rate, to mine about $8.50 of Bitcoin per day and cost about $7.83 to run, leaving you with a whopping 64 cents in your pocket. Not the most enticing number, not something you're necessarily salivating over, right? Well, let's look at the specs on our miner. This is the exact model we have, an S19k Pro, but it's the 120 terahash a second version, consuming 2,760 watts. That is a big power decrease, right? About 500 watts, only to lose 16 terahash. This is going to result in much better efficiency. This equates to about 23.5 watts per terahash used. This is good. Okay, an Antminer S19XP clocks in at about 21.5, and the next gen S21s are dipping sub 20. The bottom line is it's an efficiency game to make a more viable Bitcoin mining operation. In the last 24 hours, and this is pretty typical, more than $28 million were mined in new Bitcoins. Absolutely incredible, right? But the bad news, when we zoom out, Bitcoin literally just hit a new all-time high in difficulty. It is more difficult than ever to mine Bitcoin, okay? Not good for people getting into Bitcoin mining necessarily. Me, as a Bitcoin miner, it's tough times. Zoom out even further and you're just like, woo, we living at the top of the mountain. Woo, we living at the top of the mountain. Elephant in the room is we are less than 200 days away from the Bitcoin halving. When that happens, the amount of Bitcoins mined per day are cut in half, and it's just going to make it pretty tough to survive as a Bitcoin miner, especially at my electricity rate. But I press on. Until then, it's a great time to mine Bitcoin. And the fact of the matter is I think these are incredible prices for Bitcoin miners for how much hash rate you're getting at that power consumption. Keep in mind, a miner like this would have sold for well over 10 grand just 2 years ago. Obviously, things advance over time, but I think this is a miner that will sell for several $1,000s more than it is right now, when I hope and believe Bitcoin picks up in price and in just interest in the future. But I'm not buying this to flip. I'm more interested in just building out a sizable Bitcoin mining operation in a bear market at bottom tier miner prices. This is one of the best miners to come out recently, especially for the price point. Are they moving old stock, or is this just a good time to buy? There are, again, the S21s that will be doing, say, 200 terahash a second looming in the future, but they will carry a premium. The futures orders for those are trading around $3,000 to $4,000. So it just kind of depends. Are you ready to start mining now? Are you willing to take the risk on those future orders? I mean, you can buy this today and probably have it next week. Depending on your situation, this could be the right thing. The bottom line is, for me, nothing is just more pure and enjoyable than just simply Bitcoin mining. It's so freaking cool. Don't forget that this is the cryptocurrency that started it all. You can make a lot of money with altcoins, especially altcoin mining, but let's not forget the cryptocurrency that is quite literally the backbone of the entire crypto sector. Yep, that's Bitcoin. No matter what, Bitcoin mining will always be a key piece of my personal VoskCoin mining farm build out, and it's a great motivator for me to deploy some solar and try to start generating some of my own electricity to basically get my effective price per kilowatt down. I start making my own electric. It offsets my existing electricity cost. Maybe one day I make enough electric to bank, and then I bank with the grid and I power my miners overnight. I mean, it's going to be capital intensive. We'll have to see, but that's the dream. It's not going to be easy though, because these things are power hungry. Okay, and guess what? I'm hungry too, so I'm going to wrap this up. Thanks for watching. If for no other reason than to hang out and see 10 seconds of tails, we do it on every video. C is our CHO, our Chief Hangry Officer. Wait, hold on, let me check. Actually, never mind. Sorry, that's Alexa. Tails is our CCR, Chief Cutie Officer. I couldn't be more thankful to still have her in my life, and it's just fun to share you know, a little bit about tails. And every video that we do with 10 seconds of tails, just kind of trying to take you into a day in the life with that, you know, super smart, fun pup. If you don't know, long story short, way back when, she got very sick, almost died, almost didn't make it to 2 years old. And I just cherish every day and year, additional year that I get with her. But hey, bringing it back to the S19k Pro, right? Initial impressions are good. We've got the splice in that you already saw in retrospect with the updated mining profitability and if anything changed. This is interesting, but with the halving looming, it's, you know, in a way risky depending on your electricity rate. But I'm in this for the long game, so I think it'll work out. And I am prepared with a runway to run in bad market conditions for a while. So, but doesn't mean that I want to be there. So thanks for watching. Hope to see you on the next video.